Hello, guys. I am Hunter Shea, and I am joined by my cohorts, Jack Campisi.
Word up.
Very nice. Jason Brant.
Hey.
You know, I was tempted to sing, but Jason, that's your thing, so I had to.
I don't know why, because I can't sing.
I went street, y'all. This is episode, what, 23? Are we on 23 already? They said it wouldn't last. Well, tonight we are unchaperoned because we are without our babysitters. Because we're going to review The Babysitter. And maybe we'll talk about some babysitters that we had and things we fantasized about our babysitters.
I can say I never had a babysitter like that. In more ways than one.
The neighborhood babysitter when I grew up in the Bronx was Tanya Roberts, before she was Tanya Roberts.
Really, Tanya Roberts, or somebody that looked like her?
The real Tanya Roberts. Yep. I never had her.
So
in more ways.
Shelley Hack, the other replacement angel, is from my town. Now my friend's got a piano bench where kids would carve their name in, and there's a big hack.
Right. That's crazy. So you and I are like two Charlie's Angels.
6 degrees from, and we met Jordan Ladd. So.
Oh, that's true. I want to meet Chapman Smith. Anyway, just so you all know, as we wax poetic.
It's quite a tangent.
Well, it's babysitter themed, kind of. There is a drinking game with the final guys. So those of you who are playing along, hopefully you're not driving while you're doing this. You are to take a drink of your favorite beverage, whatever it may be. Even if it's blood, that's fine.
Pumpkin ale for me.
If the following people say the following things. If Jack says pumpkin,
oh boy.
Woo-wee! I don't know if you have to say
I just said pumpkin.
Or gorgeous. Which I don't think I ever hear you say that. For me, it's was she in, pinus, and in the boob. I gotta weave that one in there. Jason's is tall one, anamorphic, and I liked it. And bonuses, I guess anyone can say it's either Squeam Queem, Pamela, or Kivit. I don't know what the hell Kivit is, but whatever. It's in there. We don't make the rules.
Somebody was drinking before the game to make these rules.
Kivit. So while we all get ready to start drinking with you folks, you find drunk, Jack's going to hit us with some news.
All right. Well, I have a very different news segment for you today. It's two things, but one of them is a little bit longer than usual. But the first thing I came across, I thought I would bring up. I don't know if you heard about this, but Starbucks, everybody's favorite coffee shop, is unveiling or releasing for a limited time a zombie Frappuccino.
Okay. Is it made out of undead beans?
It's a cream Frappuccino blended with a special green caramel apple powder and pink powder of undisclosed flavor for another splash of color. This creates a drink with colors evocative of the classic cartoon zombie. It'll have pink brains, whipped cream, and have pink mocha drizzled on top. This will be available in an extremely limited run, October 26th through the 31st, but supplies may not even last that long because the Instagram crowd is going to want photos of this, and so this is probably going to go quick. So there you have it.
Will it be as popular as the Burger King burger that was black and made you shit really bad colors?
Maybe this will make you go pink and green.
I pissed a zombie.
I got a preppy poop. It's pink and green.
Gross.
This does not sound yummy to me at all. It sounds expensive because it's at Starbucks.
You're probably like $7.
Yeah. I think I'm going to hold off on this and save my holiday dollars for the Shamrock Shake in March. So, the other piece of news I was searching around for news stories. I came across this and said, this is going to take the rest of the news segment. I found a list of horror movies that are coming out next year. So I wanted to just go through the list and we could talk about each one.
Oh, cool.
So the first one we have talked about at length already, the Halloween remake that we've been talking about with Jamie Lee Curtis. One that is I have not ever seen something this official, but it looks like a Nightmare on Elm Street remake, totally rebooting it from the Jackie Earle Haley, is in the process. A script is being written, and there's still the rumor that Kevin Bacon may get attached to this, but it's got an in development label on it. But this is the first I've heard of this since the rumor a few months ago. So
we can only hope whoever's writing that script is next to a magnet factory that keeps fragging his entire computer, and it can just never happen. Stupid.
Yeah, I think they should just leave Nightmare on Elm Street alone for a while.
Don't reboot it. If you're going to do it, just make another. Who the hell cares? Do we need to reimagine Freddy? You know what the hell he is.
I feel like create a new character. Give Freddy a break.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
We'll see. However, Kevin Bacon would be really interesting as Freddy Krueger. So,
I like the casting of it. We'll see if it doesn't suck though.
You watch that. When it happens, it's going to be freaking Pauly Shore.
I miss Pauly.
As we mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, the Strangers 2 is in development. Actually, it's more than development. That's going to be coming out. So that looks pretty good. Were you guys aware that there's another Predator movie coming out called The Predator?
Yes, and it's done by Shane Black.
Yes, Shane Black.
I'm all about that.
I don't know much about it beyond that. There wasn't much about this. What do you know about this?
It's not a remake. It's a sequel.
Isn't the guy from Key and Peele going to be in it?
Yeah. And now I can't think of her name. From X-Men Apocalypse, she was
Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn's in it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm in.
But yeah, it's
She's
Shane
gorgeous.
Black. So I mean, Shane Black wrote the first one, and he knows what he's doing. So I'm all about it.
I like the original title. Just put it on there.
I'm hoping they do an Arnold Schwarzenegger cameo in there as the Dutch character. That would be really interesting.
I always hear him say, "You son of a bitch."
Little do you know, the movie's actually about Harvey Weinstein. It's nothing to do with aliens.
The next movie on the list is The Nun, which is the spinoff of The Conjuring. Which the nun scene in The Conjuring 2 was probably the best scene, when she's in the den and the nun painting is like coming to life and chasing her around.
That's nonsense.
And the nun, yeah, maybe then the guy who played Hagrid or whatever, Robbie Coltrane, Nuns on the Run, wasn't he in that?
Nuns on the Run, that's right. Don't forget, the nun was also briefly in Annabelle 2.
That's right, at the end.
The picture.
End credits. How do you feel about this?
Whatever. I'll see it. I'll go with my kids.
Whatever. The Nun was not gorgeous, but
I don't. This whole series they're doing, I'm fine with. I'm not in love with the Conjuring movies. They're not bad. They're okay. Annabelle 2 was good. I liked it. It was okay.
They're very well made movies, geared to skewed to a younger audience. They're giving them better quality than we got at their age.
Well, I just came off saying on the Nightmare on Elm Street one, come up with a new character. So at least they've come up with a new character. So I give all of these movies a chance, and a lot of them I see them in the theater, and I'm maybe not that crazy about them, but on like a Thursday night in the wintertime when it comes on, I'll pick that over a lot of other stuff because I'm more critical verbally than I am about actually watching these movies.
When you're not flipping through Shelley Hack bikini shots.
She was the Charlie girl.
That's right.
There's a fragrance that's here to stay, and they call it Charlie.
Charlie.
Okay, there's a 30-year-old reference for everybody.
I know. We just carbon dated ourselves.
Yes. Hunter, you're going to like this one. The Purge, the Island.
Yes. Give me purges. Every year I want a purge.
It's a prequel to the first one. Focusing on the events that led up to the first movie, of course.
No, I don't care. Give me Purge in space. I'll be happy.
Leprechauns and Purge in space.
And Hellraiser and Jason all together.
That's what they should do with Freddy. Freddy hasn't been in space yet. People go into the cryotubes. That's when Freddy gets them. They can't wake up.
Him and Chucky. I think they're the last two that haven't gone to space yet.
Yes.
That cryotube thing, that's a good idea, Jack.
After this, let's get a draft of that going. Okay, after the Purge Island, we have, oh, here we go. Beyond the Green Inferno.
I wonder if they're going to do a mashup of Green Inferno and Beyond the Green Door. That would be interesting. I'd go see that.
Beyond the Green Door is a porno movie, right?
Correctamundo.
Yes.
I'd buy that for $1.
The cannibal was going to eat her.
Mm.
So you were a bigger fan of the Green Inferno than I was.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
Torture porn. What?
I think Eli Roth's wife is good looking. They left that one open for a sequel because the bad guy got away, right?
Right. And she's quite fetching. It'd be nice if she's back
fetching.
in it.
I don't know what's a lamer title, Beyond the Green Inferno or The Predator.
I know, really.
Beyond,
super creative out.
Beyond the Predator.
At least they didn't just call it 2.
True.
You know?
Listen, I say we go out for barbecue, then see the Green Inferno.
I'm down.
Here's a movie called Meg, which is not about the daughter from Family Guy. It's about a giant shark.
Yes, I really want to see that.
Do you know anything about this movie?
It's based on a book, I think, by Steve Alton. Huge selling book, which is the reason why my publisher made me write a book about megalodons.
I prefer the shark book by Alton Brown, which is all about seafood preparation.
Meg has
a little bit of lemon goes a long way.
Meg has a decent cast to it, doesn't it?
There's no cast notes here, so I'm going to say it's probably.
They're planning for that to be a big movie. That's no little tiny.
Jason Statham, Rainn Wilson, Ruby Rose.
Wow.
Yeah, this is not a small
Ruby
budget
Rose.
movie.
My daughter loves her.
Jason Statham.
The budget is $150 million. What?
You need it. There's a lot that goes on in that.
$100 billion zillion. I need a shark with a freaking laser on its head.
The Alan Parsons Project.
All right. Well, Meg sounds like the appointment viewing.
That one gets me in the boob.
We're going to need a bigger boat. Here's another great title. Forged. See if you can guess what this is a prequel to. It's called The First Omen.
Come on.
I swear to God.
Holy Jesus.
A prequel to the 1976 classic, The Omen, showcasing the events before Damien was born. Because I'm really interested in what happened before that.
So you're gonna watch Mom and Dad bang?
Yes.
I hate prequels.
There was a long time where the son of the devil was not born.
Well, the kid who played Damien is in jail.
Really? Is with the kid who played Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah. I forget what he did.
And the kid from A Bronx Tale?
Oh.
Cologio?
He lived in my neighborhood for a little while. Yeah, he was a mess.
Are you ready for the best title of the bunch? It's the second to last movie and the last important movie.
There's nothing better than The First Omen. I don't believe you.
Buckle up, because you're going to say woo-wee after you hear this one. Ready?
Yes.
Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich.
Oh, I know all about this because I've been following Barbara Crampton. She's in it. So she's back in the Puppet Master franchise. I'm down for this.
From the writer of Bone Tomahawk.
Great.
Freaking Puppet Master movie written by Bone Tomahawk.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I'm interested.
Yep. I think I own all the Puppet Master movies.
Well, I feel marathon coming on because I really have only seen like one or two of them.
I mean, it's really all you need to see.
You've seen them all.
Yeah.
There's no difference in any of them.
I want to see one where like Lady Elaine and the other Mr. Rogers puppets take on the Puppet Master puppets.
Oh, hello.
Hey there, Mr. Rogers. Meow, 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 Mr. Rogers.
Oh, my God.
There's a 40-year-old, maybe 50-year-old reference for you.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is probably more up Hunter's alley. Hotel Transylvania 3.
Oh, joy.
Actually,
we saw the first one in the theater because my kids were a little younger. We liked it. My wife loved it, bought it. Then she bought the second one, sight unseen. So they played on a steady rotation in my house at various times.
I've never seen any of them. Is that Miley Cyrus or Selena Gomez, or who's the voice?
Selena Gomez. Adam Sandler, Kevin James, like the whole Sandler bunch.
They make good movies.
That's it. That's all the news
You know
that's
what?
fit to print.
I can watch Grown Ups all the time. I don't know why.
I don't
Well,
either.
even beyond Salma Hayek, I can watch
You know what I say to that? Whatever.
it daily. Exactly. Floats my boat.
And
Makes me happy in the pinus.
so let me just take another sip of pumpkin ale and throw it back to you guys.
All right, let's get into what we've watched this week. Jason, you said you've watched a lot of new stuff. I have watched nothing new other than tonight's movie. So what should I watch that's new once the month is over? I feel I've seen all my stuff.
Well, first I did go back and watch one old one this week, which was Trilogy of Terror because of Jack's recommendation last week. I've wanted to watch this forever. It's just the cover looks awful, and I just never got around to actually watching it. This is a fun little movie. It's old.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy at points. It's a little slow in the middle segment, but I really enjoyed this. Based on Richard Matheson's work, so the story's going to be pretty good. I really liked it. I thought, was it Karen Black? Yeah, Karen Black.
Yes.
I thought she was outstanding in it. The only segment, there were 3 segments, the only one I didn't care for all that much was the middle one, because I knew instantly what the story was before anything even happened. So it was like, I'm just watching this already knowing the ending, so I just didn't care that much. Third segment was great, little puppet work and everything was outstanding. This is a fun movie. It's only an hour and 12 minutes. Highly recommended. That's from 1975, and that was on Prime.
You can't be a horror completist if you haven't seen Trilogy of Terror.
You just have to sit through the first 2 to get to the doll, because that's...
I even like the first one. I like the twist of the story of the first one, so I was in. It was slow moving, but I liked it. I think her acting kind of pulled me through. So,
yep.
Then, based on Hunter's non-recommendation, I went and watched Found Footage 3D because I hate myself and I watch a ton of found footage movies. But I got to tell you, I thought this movie was great. This is easily one of my top 10 found footage movies, possibly getting close to one of my top 5. I thought the writing in this was absolutely spectacular. Like,
Were you on meth when you watched this movie?
I can't stress enough how much I loved the writing of this. It did have a couple issues that pulled it back for me a little bit. Nothing I want to harp on too much, but there was a continuity error in the third act that drove me absolutely freaking insane. The last shot of the movie was very cliched. I could have done without that. And they did a split screen part of the movie where you're seeing 2 cameras at once on the screen at once. And I've seen a couple movies this year that have done that, and it always drives me absolutely crazy. When I'm watching or listening or viewing any kind of art, I don't watch 2 of them at the same time. I don't listen to 2 songs at once. I don't hold one book in each hand and read them at the same time. When I'm watching a movie, I don't want to see 2 camera views for an extended period of time. I cannot stand it, and it irks the hell out of me. But they didn't do it for that long, so it wasn't terrible. But this movie, I thought it was hilarious at the beginning. I thought the humor slowly went, much like what we were talking about last week, Better Watch Out, how the humor kind of slides away and the horror kind of rose up. This movie's the same. So I'm on the exact opposite camp of Hunter. I highly recommend this.
I'm going to watch this movie and be the deciding vote.
Yeah, you tell me. Because, like I said, I like the first half, and then the second half, just to me, it was like I pulled on a thread and the whole thing came apart.
Oh, see, the whole way through, I enjoyed it, other than my couple complaints there. That was on Shudder, I believe.
Yeah.
In fact, Shudder might have actually had a role in making this movie. If I recall, their logo popped up at the beginning of the movie. I don't know if they produced it or what the deal was. Then I watched a film on Amazon Video called It Stains the Sands Red, which is
I've been dying to watch this movie, and so I can't wait to hear what you think.
It's really good. I liked it, Sheridan. It's a 2016 movie. I'm not sure when it became available on Prime, but it's basically about a woman in the zombie apocalypse who's being pursued across the desert by a zombie. And she has to stop and sleep, eat, go to the bathroom. She's exhausted, so she can't outpace it. it's just always right behind her. And you kind of see her character go through just a ton of emotions, and she actually has an excellent, fully formed character that has a great arc through the movie. Highly, highly recommend this. Some really funny parts, some good stuff. This movie's great. Everybody should check this out. And
I think I'll put that on my list.
Colin Minahan wrote and directed it. I didn't know any of his work, but I'm going to keep my eye on him. Honestly, I thought this was really well done.
I love the title.
I almost hit play on it the other night, but I had been doing stuff like too long, and it was like a little bit late, and I was like, I'm not going to last. I got to save it for a different night, so maybe I'll hit it this week.
It can be a little bit of a slow burn at parts depending on what kind of audience member you are, just because it's a woman being chased by someone who's not talking back. So it didn't bother me. I didn't feel it was slow at all, but I wonder if some people would.
Well, women talk back for everybody, so we don't need another version. Hey, I'm just kidding, everybody.
How's that for a topper?
Pamela's going to whoop your ass. Then I watched 1922 on Netflix. Yet another movie based on a Stephen King story. This guy is just killing it this year.
Is he dying, and did he sell everything off to put more money in the family coffers? What the hell went on this year?
I have no idea. I didn't even know this movie was coming out. I had no clue.
Me either.
And it's a Netflix original. So Netflix made 2 Stephen King movies and released them in the same month. So
this is nuts.
This movie stars Thomas Jane. It takes place in the year 1922, and it's about a farmer whose wife inherits a bunch of land that he wants. She's going to leave him, so he kills her so that he can keep the land, and then hides it. And it's basically about the unraveling of his sanity and his son's sanity. His son helped him with the murder as well. And this movie is one of the most depressing movies you are ever going to see. It is unrelenting gloom and doom, to the point where I watched the first hour by myself, and then the tall one, my wife, came in and watched the last half hour, and 20 minutes in, she was like, this is the most depressing thing ever. Have you watched an hour and a half of this? I'm like, yeah. I'm trying not to go hang myself when it ends. But Thomas Jane does a pretty crazy accent in it that completely works. At first, I thought it wasn't going to, but he is so convincing with it that I didn't notice it a couple minutes in. He carries this movie on his back, and he kills it.
So he's carrying the mood from The Mist right into 1922. It's like the end of The Mist.
Yes. Imagine the end of The Mist got another hour and a half, and that's this movie.
Holy God. Yeah, that sounds great. No, I really want to see that.
Real quickly, I started reading a series by Kealan Patrick Burke. The Turtle Boy was the first one, the Timmy Quinn series.
Yes.
I've read the first 2 so far, The Turtle Boy and The Hides. This is great stuff. He's an outstanding writer. I actually got to know him because of one of his shorts. I think it was called Hard Candy?
Hard Candy.
Sour Candy.
Sour Candy, yes.
Everyone has to read that. I actually had a novella almost completely written when I read it, and the story was so similar, I trashed my work. So you're a great writer, Kealan, and go fuck yourself. And that's what I did this week.
Good Lord, he's going to kick your ass.
I think The Mist is the TV show The Mist that got canceled. I think they just put that on Netflix.
Oh, good.
Really? So
I can avoid it there, too.
We could just watch the last episode and see how they ended that.
That's not a bad idea. So that's
all right, Jack. What were you up to?
Okay, so I took a huge departure this week, specifically for this audience of this podcast. I took a break from movies, and I watched 2 Netflix series, Mindhunter and Lore. I started with Lore, but then I saw that Mindhunter had shown up, watched the first episode, and was like, oh, screw that. I'm watching this. So let's talk about Mindhunter real quick. This is, we talked about this, I think a few weeks ago in the news. It's the story of like the John Douglas, how the behavioral science division of the FBI, the profilers, came to be. And if you ever read the book Mindhunter, John Douglas is the guy who started it. Jack Crawford was based on him in Silence of the Lambs. And, you know, the story in the TV show is it's fictionalized, so they have different names for the characters, but basically it's David Fincher. Is that how you say it? Fincher?
Fincher.
Fincher.
So he produced this, and he directed the first 2 episodes. It's spectacular. You got to watch. It's like 10 episodes. It's not gory. It's not like Criminal Minds where you see the serial killers. It's all dialogue. They go and they interview serial killers, and they're like, "This is like a great idea," and we're learning because crime had changed so much. There was like everybody who killed somebody knew the person, and now all of a sudden you have these guys who were just randomly killing people. They call them like sequential killers. And so there's like sort of the new guy and the grizzled veteran, and then they eventually team up with a professor who helps them add sort of more academic and official way of interviewing for the fact finding. I'm telling you, it's 10 episodes. The music is spectacular. The acting is great. The scenes where they interview the serial killers are spectacular. Like it's just dialogue, and there's moments where you're like at the edge of your seat. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for you guys to see it, to see what you think.
Everybody's saying it's phenomenal.
I really liked it a lot. What's the movie with Robert Downey Jr. and about the killer in the 70s that they never
Zodiac.
This is in the same vein as Zodiac. And so if you like that, this is right up your alley.
Cool.
Check it out. Nice.
Now, Lore, they've been teasing this. It's on Amazon. It's based off of a podcast, and there's a couple of different kinds of podcasts. And I'm not one to. I think this is one of the those podcasts that are more produced, and they're like people are reading scripts, and there's music behind them, and they kind of tell stories and that kind of thing. I feel like Lore was that kind of podcast. I haven't listened to it, but the basic gist of Lore is it's the story behind legends. So where did werewolves come from? Where did vampires come from? Where did this nursery rhyme? Things like that.
Babies come from.
Yeah. They didn't answer that, and I'm still wondering. And then I watched The Babysitter, and I discovered it by accident.
Vagina.
So Lore is interesting, but I felt like some of the episodes were too long, and it wasn't as like sort of the advertisements for it, or the look of it feels really Halloween and horror, but it's not quite that. So it's interesting, but it's not like a binge watch. It's more like what should we watch tonight? Oh, let's watch a Lore. Some of them are better than others. I'd say the last 3 are better than the first 3. And the very last one is about Robert the doll in Key West.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really interesting one. So I would recommend Lore, but it's not like a binge watch. It's like check them out here and there. They're interesting, but it's not like The Appointment viewing. Mindhunter, drop what you're doing and watch it. Like, it's so good.
Right.
I watched the first Lore last night. It's a good show. Yeah, it's pretty much what you said.
First one, I like the subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, I was kind of checking my watch a little bit, but yeah, good show.
Not to be confused with Lure, which is like a Polish mermaid movie.
Or Lore, which is Data's brother in Star Trek The Next Generation.
Dar, Lore.
Then I'm going to throw in quickly, I watched Jason Goes to Hell last night, which I hadn't seen in 15 years. And it was way better than I remember it being, just because it's a lot of fun. It's a big, silly movie. It was when New Line took over the Friday the 13th. So they've got Freddy nods. They've got Evil Dead nods in it. It's the most ambitious.
A lot of people don't like that one. A lot of people hate that one.
I didn't like it when I first saw it that much. Years later, me and a friend rented it, got a pizza, and we're like, wow, it was like a perfect, like Hunter, you and me, like watching it after Monster Man. It's just a fun, stupid movie, and I enjoyed.
No, I like it actually. I have no qualms about it. That's not my least favorite of them.
Then the interesting thing is, I was reading about it today. It was 10 years after that movie when Freddy versus Jason finally happened. I didn't realize it was that long.
Wow.
Well, yeah, you had Jason X in between, right?
Oh, did we?
I think we did.
Yeah. Jason Goes to Hell, ambitious is exactly how I would put it. They took a lot of big swings. They had a lot of misses, but they really went for it, so I appreciate it for that.
All right, Hunter, you're up.
Oh, okay. I watched 12 movies since the last time.
You're on fire, man.
Well, I'm slowing down right now, but I'm at 45 movies for the month of Horror-tober. Last year's record was 50. That will be shattered. Beat that like a piñata. So here's the deal. What I'm going to do, I will tell you the movies I watched, but I'm only going to talk about 2. How about that? So from the last episode, I watched Rosemary's Baby, The Return of the Living Dead, The Funhouse, Isle of the Dead, which is an old Boris Karloff movie, The Final Girls, Body Bags, which is that John Carpenter anthem, which I had never seen, Motel Hell, Barbara Crampton making an appearance again, and We Are Still Here. We had a I watched 13. We had a Universal Monster Day on Sunday, so we watched The Creature from the Black Lagoon, The Mummy, The Wolf Man, and Frankenstein.
Wow.
Sorry, no Dracula. We were tired. I was like, I can't do anymore. Oh, and then, last night's movie. So that's everything I watched. The 2 movies that I really want to talk about. One is The Funhouse by Tobe Hooper, which that's when I go between favorite movies that he did, it's that or Texas Chainsaw. A lot of times The Funhouse tips the scale for me, just because of the nostalgia of it. I saw it as a kid in the theater, loved it because at the time we had carnivals that drifted into town, we had freak shows, and to me it's this time capsule of Americana that just doesn't exist anymore.
I have that queued up to watch this week.
Oh, such a good movie. Such a creepy effing town. There are so many references to possible pedophilia and just general fuckery with little kids. It's I don't know what's worse.
So it's a family movie.
Totally. Absolutely. Bring the kids. Because when you've watched it as many times as I have, I wonder what's worse. The scummy carnies and the monster kid in the Frankenstein mask, or the town. Maybe the town deserves this place that comes in and just cleanses them of the garbage that lives in their town. So, one of my favorites, and it has Elizabeth Berridge. It's her first movie that she ever did. You'd know her from Amadeus. She played Wolfgang's wife. Or maybe you wouldn't. She's very naked in the movie in the very beginning. Like, boom, right off the bat. This is why I love the 80s. Hey, you want to be in a movie? Take off your clothes. Nowadays, it's you want to be in Game of Thrones? Take off your clothes.
Want to be on Final Guys? Take off your clothes.
Take off your clothes. So watch that. You cannot lose with that. And the other movie I want to talk about is Motel Hell, which I remember I saw that in the theater when it came out, and then it disappeared. Well, it wasn't in video stores by me.
Oh, that was a video store classic for us.
Yeah, and it never made it to the ones that I went to, and I was like, oh my God, where the hell is this Motel Hell? I just always remember the guy's slogan, meat's meat and man's got to eat. Good old Farmer Vincent. And it had Cliff Clavin as a pot-smoking rock group member whose van gets tipped over. He gets buried up to his neck in the old secret garden out back. It's a cool movie. It's this country farmer, his demented sister, and they basically kidnap people, bury them in the ground, and then turn them into meat, smoked meat.
That movie gets freaking crazy.
It's bananas. It's so funny when it needs to be funny, and it's dead serious when it needs to be serious.
BANANAS.
I haven't seen Motel Hell or Funhouse since I was in high school. I barely remember either one, to be honest. I need to go back and revisit them.
They are annual must-watches.
I watched Motel Hell last year, so I'm up to date. Funhouse on deck.
The reason why you have to watch Motel Hell is for the very end, for the chainsaw fight scene with Farmer Vincent wearing a giant pig head. It was just, it's an iconic image in horror. So another one that you got to watch for the horror completist. So look how fast I got done today, guys. I didn't go into directors, actors, nothing.
I'm impressed because on Twitter, I can't keep up. Especially, I stopped watching horror movies to watch these series, and I'm like, oh man, you're just crushing me.
I'm crushing myself. I want to beat last year's record. Next year, I might have to quit my job just so I can beat this year's record. So that's everything, guys. We are now going to dive into this week's Netflix exclusive movie, The Babysitter. First of all, thank you all who are watching us live here on YouTube. We're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can join in the conversation. I haven't been partaking much because Jason scolded me, said my mouse pad here is making too much noise. So if you're upset, say, fuck you, Jason, in the chat. It's his fault that I'm not on there.
Well, they're all going to say it in the chat, and all the listeners are going to be thanking me.
If you're in the car listening to this on audio, scream, fuck you, Jason, and honk the horn.
Yeah, that'll teach me.
Wouldn't it be great if it was so loud you would hear it? Okay, so guys, this movie is a Netflix movie. It's an exclusive movie. It's about a babysitter. It's a horror comedy. But who should I choose? Jack, can you tell us the plot of The Babysitter?
Kinda.
It's a weird one, so good luck.
So a kid who's probably too old to need a babysitter has a babysitter who is insanely hot and gorgeous and cool.
I knew you'd say that.
And one day his parents go away for a weekend, leave him with the babysitter. Traditionally, he falls asleep whenever she comes over and he doesn't know what happens. And the girl next door challenges him to stay awake this time because she thinks that there are antics going on that he should be spying on, like orgies and partying and stuff like that. So he does manage to stay awake. But what he finds out is she invites friends over, and rather than sort of a party or an orgy, they're doing like a satanic ritual where they basically kill somebody.
And it goes from there.
Comedy and horror ensue. Bella Thorne is somebody you might see in some of the advertising for this, and she does not hold a candle to the actual babysitter as far as hotties go in this movie. Because
I'm going to beg to differ.
Okay. The girl...
that babysitter is your girl right there. That's a Jack girl.
Which I believe is Hugo Weaving's daughter.
What?
Yeah. L. Ron's daughter.
Wow.
So anyway, there's a real Scott Pilgrim moments in this movie. There's a good balance of horror and comedy to this film, and that's kind of the synopsis.
There you go. So, Jason, when you and your wife make Whoopi, what did you think of the movie?
I was going to take a joke there, but she would not have appreciated it.
Good thing you shut up, brother.
I haven't had enough whiskey yet. Still half that glass left. What did I think of the movie?
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I really did. I saw last week when we said we were going to do this that this was a Mick G movie, and my first thought was, I haven't seen a movie of his in a long time now, but he did the Charlie's Angels films. He did Terminator Salvation. I'm not sure if he directed anything else I've seen or not, but I wasn't particularly a fan of either of those. His action, his movies always feel silly to me when I'm watching a movie that, or a scene that maybe I don't want it to be silly. But his style really fit this film. Yeah. I thought everything in this was fun. The action in this, someone gets shot with a pistol and they fly across the room like they got hit by a Mack truck.
Oh my God.
Typically, that would annoy the crap out of me in a movie. But in this, it was fun and it worked. And it was just goofy. And if you just go along with that ride, this movie's a ton of fun. The cast was great. I've mentioned this a couple times. When I see kids under the age of 15 in a movie, I'm often kind of ready to bow out. But he was great in this.
Aren't you court ordered to bow out when there's kids under 15?
The injunction's been over. It's fine.
I can go to the playground again. Yay!
It was fun. I liked pretty much everything about this movie. You just got to go with it.
Jack, oh, I know you like this.
This movie's right up my alley. I love horror comedies when done well, and this was a pretty good one. And especially as we've been saying, for a Netflix output, please keep doing stuff like this. This is high quality output. I would rather see this movie done as a horror comedy than trying to do it seriously and doing a bad job. There are certain jokes that didn't land and other things that really clicked. So overall, I really enjoyed watching it, had a blast with it. I'm going to watch the red bikini scene probably on loop for the rest of my life.
I'm sure you will.
There's a scene in a crawl space with tarantulas that I was like, Peter Brady times 1,000. Oh my God. So yeah, it gets really, really silly. But I enjoyed it. Fun ride. You could do a heck of a lot worse. I would definitely recommend people watch this movie. It's a good time. But again, don't set the bar high. You're not looking at, The Shining or, The Haunting or, American Werewolf from London here. This is a really fun Netflix movie.
All right. I loved it. I had a blast with it. I just let it roll. I said, look, it's right from the very first scene, it sets the tone. You know what you're in for. It's got Ken Marino in it.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
I wish he was in it more. But anything he's in. If he chose to be in it, I'm like, all right, it's pretty decent. Remember that movie where he was fighting like a turd monster?
Yes. And Leslie Bibb, is it Leslie Bibb is his wife?
Yes.
She's great.
Great cast. As soon as we're watching the movie and we see the blonde babysitter, and my wife and I looked at them, we both went, that's a Jack girl right there. We knew. And she looks like the girl from Love.
Oh, Gillian Anderson.
No, not Gillian Anderson. Gillian, whatever her name. Yeah.
Jacobs?
Something like that. She looks a lot like her.
Who I also love.
I thought the chemistry between her and him was fantastic. I'm like, oh my God, I want a babysitter right now like this. That's this cool. Just to hang out with. I'm not even for the red bikini part. And then when it took its turn, man, it went into kind of like a little bit of Evil Dead 2 territory. I think the supporting cast was fantastic. They were funny as hell. And the ripped dude who couldn't keep his shirt on, everyone in my family was going, that when he was gone, they were like, oh, that was my wife. She goes, that was one of my favorite characters in a horror movie of all time.
Just to interrupt you for a second, you said you want to hire a beautiful 20-year-old to hang out with you on Friday and Saturday nights.
Yes.
Okay. And shockingly, all the women in your family were upset when the jacked, shirtless guy was killed off.
Yeah, it's rough, right?
Yeah. Never saw either one of those coming.
My daughters know Bella Thorne. I hear about Bella Thorne, what a hot mess she is in real life. She was on Disney or Nickelodeon, one of those years ago. I thought she was the harder one. So, see, Jack and I, if we were ever single and rooming together, we always know we would never cross streams.
Let's not let anybody have the impression, though, that I did not think that Bella Thorne didn't look good.
No, but if you and I are at a bar, two single guys, I'm going for the blonde. I'm like,
I couldn't get either one of them, but
sure we could. We got a pocket full of rupees and time to kill.
And listen, the role that Bella Thorne played in that movie, she was born to play.
Oh my God,
the bitchy cheerleader,
tailor-made for her, and obsessed with her boob.
Yes,
it was awesome. I thought the movie was funny when it had to be funny, and it had its gory moments. It was silly. It was a trip. Here's the deal. It's a movie that is going to stick with me. It was so original in its own special way that's the movie I'm going to keep on remembering. And because of that, it might make my top 13 list at the end of the year.
Oh, it's a contender.
Because a movie that has that kind of impact on me, who can forget my own name in an hour from now, deserves extra kudos. So
I look at my top 13 list as, what am I going to tell somebody give me a bunch of movies I should watch. So I could easily see that being in the list of movies because it's fun, it's digestible, it's just a good time, and I'll want to watch it again sooner than later.
Right. Oh, and Bad Milo, thank you, Eric, is the Ken Marino shit movie.
Ken Marino's in a lot of good stuff. He's a funny guy.
He is.
Now, the lead kid, I don't know his name, he actually does a really good job carrying this movie. Because when he's like tied up and all the gang are facing him for the first time, he sees the guy without the shirt. He's like, "Why do you have a shirt on?" Like, the kid's pretty funny.
Like, that's the question that you ask?
That scene to me actually perfectly set the tone for the rest of the movie. I loved that, first of all the people who came to play Spin the Bottle and Murder the Nerd all were so stereotypical that the one woman was wearing her cheerleader outfit. And they mentioned, why are you wearing that? And you've got the jock and you've got the token guy. And I mean, they didn't hide the fact that these were all stereotypes at all. When he's cutting the ropes behind his back and they all just keep laughing that they can see him cutting the ropes.
We can see you in the mirror.
That just perfectly set the tone for the movie for me. I love that entire sequence.
I love that the African-American gentleman kept getting geysers of blood shot in his face. It's so funny. Oh my god. So
and he reacted like you would. Oh, that's gross. Oh my god, I'm gonna get a disease.
What did he say? What did he say? Like 2 in 5 people have STD. He goes, I just know I have AIDS. Oh my god. So good. So are we all in agreement? This is a thumbs up movie, right?
Thumbs up.
Absolutely.
Right. So we're at the halfway mark here, so I guess it's time to get into some spoilers. So,
are there spoilers? This is like Child's Play. Like there's not much we can spoil.
Let's just say now we can. I mean, we haven't given away that much, but yeah, let's call it spoilers.
Oh, there is a spoiler in there. There's a big one.
All right, spoilers.
Yeah, I like the fact that it leads its way to a sequel.
Oh,
as impossible as it seems.
I would hope that they do a sequel because everybody was so good in this. There's this scene with the shirtless guy where the kid's climbing out the window to get away from him, and the guy gets to the window. Then I forget what the hell else happens, but then the bully guy pulls up to the house
and eggs the house.
And so now the shirtless guy is trying to help the kid.
Well, seconds before that, don't forget, he has him lifted off the ground and he's strangling him to death. He's going to kill him right there and then. And then he's like, you going to let this fucking punk do this to your house?
Yeah.
That scene was so dumb and so great.
Yes.
It's maybe my second favorite scene in the movie because I like this jock murderous idiot for what he's doing here, and I'm thinking about how dumb it is and how much I like it, and my brain couldn't reconcile the two. That was just great.
Well, he was all over the place because he's trying to kill him, then he's trying to man him up, then he kisses him on the head, sends him out to punch this kid, and when it doesn't happen, he's going to kill him again, and the kid goes, you don't have to kill me. He's like, I'm not like the others. I'm just here to kill people. He's all over the map. He was one of the most batshit nutty people ever. You went between wanting him to die and wanting him to live.
There was a lot of dumb things. There was a lot of dumb things that you just let go because they were fun. For instance, the spider tunnel under the house. At the very beginning of the movie, the mother is down there and you see this big tarantula and you're like, they're not even talking about it. And you're like, what the hell? There's a giant tarantula next to her. And she's just like, oh, spiders are good. And so now the rest of the movie are like, when are the spiders coming? When are the spiders coming? And then they go in and there's just this magical basement full of tarantulas.
A million. Are there that many tarantulas in the wild under a house?
It was like the barn and arachnophobia all of a sudden.
Yes. And dead rats. How many rats were in those traps?
I kept expecting one of the characters to be like William Shatner, just grabbing tarantulas off.
And then the other thing was when the first nerd kid got killed, there's like two things impaled in his head, and he's like still talking.
He's
Oh,
fine.
I don't want to die. And the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy, who's in it, the Asian girl.
She's in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Isn't it the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy who's in love with the big dude?
No.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh, they look alike. She looks just as alien. Where is she from? She's really familiar.
She's in something. Does that
There
help?
we go.
Does that help?
She's in my trunk.
She's in my tarantula crawl space.
Oh my god. I thought she was so weird looking, man.
She reminded me of the chick in The Crow.
Bai Ling?
Yeah.
No, Bai Ling's hot. We saw her a couple of years ago.
Like the evil Asian with the makeup.
She was the girlfriend of the bad guy with the super long hair.
Did you guys recognize the main actress from anything else, Samara Weaving? It's the first time I think I've seen her. She was outstanding.
Jack's Wet Dreams. Other than that, no.
I don't know what they're doing in Australia, but they've got these young, beautiful blonde women who can act their asses off coming out of there. I don't know what's going on.
And why is it everyone who has a great American accent is from England and Australia?
I know the whole Walking Dead cast is like from Britain.
How is this possible? We don't have enough actors over here?
She did crush it. She's got a future. I mean, look, she's Hugo Weaving's daughter, so she's got a leg up on the competition. But she's a freaking statuesque goddess, and she's like really funny and a good actor. So
she came from Hugo Weaving?
Yeah,
Mr. Anderson.
I did not know that.
I see. We thought that she was like a Seinfeld woman because sometimes she'd be like, "Oh, she's really pretty," and then she'd make a weird face like, "Ooh, not so pretty." But I give her props.
Thought she was not so pretty, and I think you guys are right.
You're insane.
I give her props because she was making weird face contortions that a lot of vain actresses wouldn't want to do because they know, oh, they're going to freeze frame and I was stuck with that stupid face on. But she went for it, so I give her props for that. And I wanted to poke her in the boob. Drink!
Actually, you want to talk about something that I found quite hilarious was when the cheerleader is shot in the boob, and then every line she has after that is her complaining about her boob.
Oh my god. I'm going to have one flat chest. It was supposed to keep growing. Now it's not going to.
Not concerned about possible death, not concerned about the pain, just the disfigurement of it.
Which, from what I hear, is kind of like the way Bella Thorne is. And she's bisexual in real life, so it was perfect that she was... dude, that makeout scene?
Hello.
Quite lovely. Quite lovely.
But my wet dream is all he talks about. I think I'm not alone here.
You could have ended the movie right there, just goodbye.
No, I actually said to my wife afterwards that if I could have someone cast as the cast character from my Hunger series, she could definitely pull that off.
Oh, you're right, she could.
She was so good in this. I just thought, man, if I could get these made, that's who I want.
All right. I'll give her a call.
Okay, make it happen. God damn it! Everybody start hitting her on Twitter. All six of you, let them know.
Dude, I'm so glad Eric Smith is here because he is getting everything right for us. He's Hugo Weaving's niece.
So we have a researcher now.
Oh, it's niece, not daughter. Good
right.
call.
So not his sperm.
Before we get out of here, I do want to go into what you guys had said.
Take the white pill.
A little bit earlier. I hope Netflix keeps doing this stuff because it feels like going to the video store almost. This month has, because they've put out so many good original horror movies that it just feels like you'd go and see something on a shelf like, what the hell is this? This didn't come out of theaters. And you take it home and it's Maniac Cop or something, you know?
Yeah.
This month they're absolutely killing it. And I'd heard a couple years ago they said that their horror movies and their horror series have an incredible retention rate and that the fans on there are beyond the other ones. There maybe aren't as many of them, but they're more hardcore.
Right.
So I'm wondering if we're starting to see the fruits of that, if they're trying to appeal to weirdos like us now.
Awesome. It's about time.
A few good horror movies just popped up on Netflix really recently too, like Raw, Devil's Candy and the Void and things like that.
I think
so,
a Dark Song is on there now.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. They don't forget this is their second horror comedy home run because Little Evil was excellent too.
Yeah,
still
and
haven't
this is
watched
better than Little Evil.
And don't you know, Jack, Creep 2 is coming.
Oh, that's right. That should be next week's.
I don't think it's out yet though.
It's 27th, isn't it?
Is it?
I think.
Wait a second. I would type, but I don't want to make noise. Can somebody check?
Well, don't
I
worry.
don't
You've
wanna
made
make
enough
any
that
noise.
it doesn't matter at this point.
I am fucking running the show. I'm going to make as much noise as I can with my mouth. Hope you can't hear the other stuff coming out of the other end.
just wait till you guys watch 1922, and they're just killing it. Gerald's Game this month, Stranger Things coming. I mean, how are we going to come up with 13, our top 13 list at the end of the year? How the hell are we going to be able to whittle it down?
It's going to be rough. There are ones that I thought were surefires that are not, that are tumbling further and further down. But that's
I know
that's
there
how
are
it
some
goes.
people like Steve Barnard who thinks this is like a shitty year in horror. This is like one of the best years I can remember.
Well, there are not enough Japanese zombie hooker crab monsters.
Butthole movies.
Oh my god!
I mean, just think about the stuff we talked about in the first episode or two. I just said a dark song. I mean, that
That's
came out in what,
one of the best ones.
February or
top five
March?
for me.
That's got to be on the list. But
Yes.
how many things have we seen since then that have been incredible?
Creep 2, October 24th, it says. That's
Today?
today.
That's today.
I don't know
Alright.
how accurate what I'm looking at is, but
I say we make an executive decision. Next week's movie will be Creep 2.
if this is right,
Because
yeah, on demand, October 24th.
I gotta have me some peach fuzz and I need tubby time.
If Creep 2's out, that's definitely got to be the movie.
Can we review it in the tub together?
Come on over. I don't have a tub, but we'll do it in the shower.
This is like the third or fourth time I've asked to do this with you.
Well, the people don't know that the one time you joined the call here and you were in the tub.
I was in a tub. I was in a jacuzzi.
We got to talk about something. Next Tuesday is Halloween, so are we doing this on Tuesday night, or are we going to do it like a different night?
I will not be available next Tuesday night. Like I said, we have a huge...
So either we take next week off, or we do it a different night. Maybe we should just announce it on our Facebook page, or let's aim for Monday night.
Let's not take the week off, but we'll figure something out. So we won't be live on YouTube. We'll say that. We'll figure it out. We'll let everybody know. I'm flying back from Dallas Monday night, so that's not
right.
going to work for me. But
Maybe we'll do it Wednesday.
maybe Wednesday, something like that.
You know what? So set your little watches and your Dakota rings for Wednesday.
Watch our Facebook page and our Twitter for an official announcement.
Just to let you guys know, Creep 2 is not showing up for me on Netflix. So
I'm gonna be hopeful. I am gonna put it out there. Positivity.
I just Googled it. That was what the first couple of articles said, so I don't know how accurate that
IMDb
is.
says the same thing, but I don't see it on Netflix yet. So I don't know. Maybe it'll post tonight.
Yeah, sometimes they'll do that. They'll put it like right before midnight. I've
So
noticed.
next week it's either Creep 2 or Better Watch Out.
Yeah, it'll be Creep 2. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. And we have an extra day to play with for it to load up, so it'll be good.
Yeah, it should be out by next week. So
I am diamond nipples for Creep 2. Diamonds.
All right.
Cut glass with my nips. All right, everybody. So that's it for this week's episode because, look, we're not going to do Would You Want to See Babysitter in the Theater because you can't.
you can't.
But go watch it on Netflix. If you don't, you're a loser. How about that, loser? So please stay tuned with us every week, except next week. It'll be Wednesday. Most times it's Tuesday. FinalGuys.com. Follow us on iTunes, our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter. We are everywhere. We are like a plague of morons.
Leave a review, subscribe, and share.
Please
Please.
share me. We are available for sharing anytime.
Oh, I am going to plug two things really quick. This
it.
week, hopefully before Thanksgiving.
What the fuck?
The whiskey's almost gone.
Mhm.
Before Halloween, our Halloween So Bad It's Good will be out, hopefully, on Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Ooh.
Wait till you see clips from this movie. It's the greatest thing ever. And in one of our future episodes, I found a movie I'd seen on the Sci-Fi Channel in the 2000s, SS Doom Trooper.
Oh my god.
It never released in the States other than the Sci-Fi Channel, and I had to have the DVD imported from the UK.
That's determination.
This movie is so great. I cannot wait to watch it.
Oh, awesome. Oh, Jack, you should promo Monster Man.
Well, if you go to Monsterman 13 on YouTube, we just released our famous pumpkin ale tasting episode, which is our favorite episode of the year for us too, because we drink a lot. Last week we did our Halloween episode where we reminisce about Halloween, so that'll get you in the mood. And the episode before that, because we've been on fire this month, is our 31 movies for 31 days of Halloween that we did. So we got a lot of Halloween content on there. So start with the pumpkin ale so you have something to drink, and then work your way back. And
plus, we have giveaways at the end of the episode.
So that's right. We're giving away issues of Dark Dossier magazine, so you can find out how to win that and check them out as well.
All right, everybody. That's a wrap. Everybody, go the fuck home. Bye. So long.
Peace.